Ooh, what's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Gundam Universe Gundam Renewal RX-78-2. So this is the second version of this character that we've gotten in the Gundam Universe line. The first one we got a long time ago, and they're now doing it in this new style, Gundam Renewal, which provides additional articulation, a little better coloration, as well as more accessories, which we'll take a look at. And since this is a, I guess, not reissue, but like a new version, might as well bring in the original so you can see the difference. And both of these are pre-built, so just in case you're wondering, these are not model kits. They come pre-assembled. They're, basically molded plastic models, and they have everything already built out of package. So you just really get to play with it and pose it. But you can see the differences in the overall sculpt. The new one, darker blue, painted yellows. The chest is actually a little bit bigger. Proportions are a little less lanky than this one. This one's a little bit more, stout. Here's the side. Even the arms are just a little bit different in terms of their sculpt. Here's the backpack. Backpacks are similar. But you'll notice right away there's a big cutout in the back of the legs. It's something that I was suggesting every time I reviewed one of these. I would say the articulation is limited, and they could easily fix it by making a cutout. And now they've done that, which gives you the double jointed knees. They also give you double jointed elbows. So if you'll notice on the front, there's now a cutout here to give you a little bit more range on the elbows. So really nice improvements. In general, I like the colors of the new one a little bit better. It's a little bit darker. The white is kind of like a bluish white. And just the proportions on the new one, I think, look less like this, which is a little more, svelte. And maybe if you certain scenes and certain versions of this character, you might think of him that way. But I just like the way this looks. Right. Let's go over articulation on this guy. The neck joint is also new, so the head itself is on a ball joint, forward and backward, side to side, and rotates around. But then there's a neck joint. There's a hinge built in at the bottom. So that gives him a big range forward. So you can get down to there. And backward, you can see the ball joint there, but backward up to there. So that really improves the head movement because they get the head away from the top of the chest. So that helps a lot. Nice paint work on the head too. Red paint, gold paint, black paint. It's all detailed nicely. Shoulders rotate around on a hinge. Butterfly joint built in to that hinge. Actually, I can't remember. No, this did not have that. Had a ball jointed hinge. So I'm just going to leave this here because we might need to refer to it. So that's new. You get a butterfly joint built in. The shoulder pad itself can move up and down. Shoulders can go up to there on a hinge. So there's a hinge there and a hinge there. Combining the two, you get it up to there. Rotation here at the bicep. Double jointed elbow gets you a little bit more because of the cutout. Let's just confirm that. Yes, absolutely. Way more articulation there. That's great. Wrist around a ball joint, that's the same as the original. So it's up and down and out, rotates. Ab crunch here at the upper joint. So there's a hinge, you can see it. That will extend. It's a double jointed hinge. Just want to show you. There's a ball joint here that plugs into this front hinge here. And utilizing both, you get it back to there and down to there. That's really good. And you get a rotation at the lower joint. That's a little tight, to be honest, but it works. It's got that fan twist squeak, but it does work. That's a way better range of motion than we had with this. This had back to there, down to there. It did have a rotation. Again, it's kind of tight, but not much. So that's a huge improvement to the prior. Hip skirts are about the same. They're on a hinge, but they do rotate here. So you can kind of get them out of the way. Legs are on a drop-down hinge, which is a nice improvement. Legs kick up to there, back to there, up to the side. Rotation at the thigh, not just on the ball joint, but on universal. So again, nice improvement. Double jointed knee, full bend, great improvement. I was trying to check if that thigh is dropping down. No, it's not, but you have 2 hinges there, which work very well. Ankles are on a hinge and a ball joint, so you get side to side, forward and backward, rotation. The ankle shield does go up and down. Nice movement on that ankle. And again, those are all improved. Again, single jointed knee before. Hip was limited due to the hip skirts. You could kind of get out of the way, but it didn't really get high up enough. That was part of the problem. And you didn't have drop. Oh, you did have drop down hinges. I'm sorry, but it was limited due to these hip skirts. I guess I lied about this too. There is a rotation here at the thigh, but it's very tight. Knee is definitely limited, and the feet are about the same. So some improvements overall on the articulation. Yeah, I really appreciate them going and redoing this character with this extra articulation. All right, now let's take a look at accessories for this guy. And we get a bunch of new accessories with this figure that we didn't get before. But first, let me go through the accessories we do get that are the same as the original. We get alternate hands. Now, it comes with the gripping, the fisted hands that can't grip anything. So the first thing I always do with these is swap those out, at the very least, for these open gripping hands. Because then you can at least hold the weapons. They're sculpted nicely. I would argue they're sculpted a little bit better than the original. They look a little bit nicer. And he can, of course, hold his beam saber. We can grab one of these hilts, grab the beam, plug that in there. And this will plug into his hand. That looks pretty nice. Of course, you get 2 of those. We get another beam, so you can grab the other hilt from his backpack and put that in the hand. But I'm going to leave that out for now just because I have other weapons to show you. But you do get the 2. I like to have them with at least 1 hilt in the back there. We also get his beam saber, or beam rifle with the gold here. This still moves up and down. Whoops. And I knocked that off. This still goes up and down, and you can move the ammo clip up and down. This will fit into the hand, but you want to use the trigger finger hand, so you can get the trigger finger around the gun. And that looks pretty good too. You know, that's about the same as the original. It's slightly different sculpt on the gun, on the rifle itself, but all in all, it did come with that. And then we get this shield, which is resculpted a little bit compared to the original. So here's the original. The original is a little bit smaller. Slightly different shade of red. You can see the handle is now new. They've put it on a ball joint instead of this tab. So I prefer that because it gives a little bit more articulation. So take this out of here. Set that aside. Or maybe put it back in his backpack here. And then this will plug into his hand. So if you have the gripping hand, you can get the fingers around it and plug the ball joint in to his arm. And that gives a little bit of movement on that shield. Like, that works very well. The posing with it is a little bit easier because of that ball joint. You know, just gets a little bit more adjustment out of it. You can see the range of motion on that is much better than the original. The original was just a tab, so you couldn't move it at all once you plugged it in. All right, so that's all the accessories that are basically the same as the original. Now I'm going to go over the accessories that are new. We get this beam javelin done in that pink paint again. And the hilt is, the same color as the others. And we can, actually we'll pop this off, give him his regular gripping hand. And this can go in here. So you get this. Whoops. Get this look. A little bit heavy for the hand, but that looks really good. And finally, we get the bazooka. Just done in gray plastic, but it does look good. This will fit over the shoulder right here. So you want to get the grip on the same side. All right, sorry about the cutaway there. Apparently it works better with the trigger finger hand, but that's pretty cool. You know, we never got this weapon with the original Gundam Universe figure. So you get that look. And then the last weapon that's new is this hammer, which we never had before. It's got the mace at the end, and then this will fit into the hand. And this is a somewhat new weapon for him. So that's pretty cool, you know. I love the metal chain. That really adds to it. So final recommendations on the Gundam Universe Gundam Renewal RX-78-2. This is an excellent action figure. I love the upgrades they made. I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5. Strong recommendation. Overall, they've improved all of the issues I had with the original, which is the articulation at the knees, arms, and overall at the waist. The accessories are exceptional. Not only do you get good accessories, you get plenty of them, especially compared to the original. The price point has gone up a little bit. I think it's $5 more. Maybe, yeah, I think it's $5 or $10 more. $10 more than the original, but it's worth it. The $10 difference is worth it. I've always said, just raise the price and just make it a little better. And that's what they've done here. Very happy, very satisfied. Can't wait to see what else they do in this line. I have one more lined up. That'll be a members only review. This is going to be for everyone, but that one will be members only just because it is a more unique character. And yeah, I want to reward my members with a unique review. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.